Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Bouncing Back with Brighton. In today's episode we have two absolutely massive away games in the league, and pretty much I think these two will decide, well not necessarily decide, but determine whether we are Premier League title contention quality. There has been a couple of games since the last time we met, the first of which was a 2-0 away victory against Everton. Darius Courtney put us in front inside the first minute. Jeremy Doku doubled that lead in the 87th. Gylfi Sigurdsson missed a penalty for them in the 89th minute, and we ran out eventually comfortable 2-0 winners. And in the only other game, it ended with a hugely disappointing 1-1 home draw against Wolves. Sebastian Jaros had put us in front 10 minutes before half time, but Dominic Solanke equalised in the 91st minute for Wolves and earned them a point. And the Premier League table looks like this. After those couple of games, we currently sit in third position level on points with Manchester City, 2 points behind Liverpool, but we do have a game in hand, and 4 points behind Man United, who are top of the league, but we have 2 games in hand. So if we win both of our games in hand, we could theoretically go top. But for today's episode, we are facing Man City and Chelsea away from home. Man City, of course, level on points with us in 4th position, and Chelsea in 6th. Both away games. It's going to be incredibly tough to get 2 wins here. I would be happy with. Would I be happy with 2 draws? I really want at least 1 win. That's what I fancy anyway. So the first game is against Manchester City, and this is how we are going to line up. Jack Butland in goal, Tavares, Gonçalves and Nathan Wood with Carlos Julio in the defence. Bentley, Eben Aquino in the centre, Sebastian Jaros, Gravenberch, Doku in the attack midfield spots. And I'm going to start Darius Courtney. He's been doing very well in the league. 5 goals in 4 games since he's joined the club in January. Rodrigo Marquez is still returning after a little bit of a knock, so he's going to sit out for today's game, and Mesquita will take his place on the bench. I am pushing Courtney a little bit. He's not as good as the other 2 strikers we've got, but the fact that he's English, I want to see him improve, and he could be pretty much a mainstay in our squad going forward. So Man City come at us with a 4-1-2-3. Eric Dyer, Lewis Cook, Phil Foden, Leo, just the usual suspects, you know. Josh Tymon, who we tried to sign forever, is actually starting at left back. I think maybe it's a position where we've got a better player than him, but, you know, it's a world-class squad. We're going to have to be at our very best today. So we kick off in the first half, shooting from right to left. Away from home, Man City, we're level on points. This could, if we were to win today, I would actually start getting a little bit of confidence for us being able to challenge for the title towards the back end of the season. I am expecting a defeat in today's game. Man City are just a very good side, and they've obviously matched us in terms of points accumulated and games played. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Early highlight though, 15 minutes in, Phil Foden with a shot. Butland manages to tip it around the post. It was a little bit of a weird highlight that. I wouldn't be surprised if there was more to come as Leon Bailey takes the corner. We managed to get a clear through Gonçalves, and thankfully that's the end of that. Highlight now, it might be us coming forward this time. Bentley finds Gravenberch. Tavares is overlapped on that right hand side. He cuts in, he takes his strike. He takes 2, always. Another highlight now, Sebastian Jaros with the free kick. Gonçalves gets his head on it. It's a great save by Edison to keep Man City level. And there we are as we approach half-time. Manchester City 0, Brighton 0. Pretty even game in terms of the match stats. We've probably had the better of the opportunities so far, but nothing incredibly clear-cut. I don't think we would deserve to go in 1-0 up. So we'll have to see how the second half goes. We have got some interesting options off the bench should they be needed. The likes of Mbalo, Mesquita, Ramos, Bulat, Alvarado could all make positive impacts in the final third. We'll just have to wait and see how the rest of our team settles in. With 20 minutes into the second half and nothing's happening. Courtney's not having the greatest game up top, so we are going to get him off for Mesquita. And Gravenberch isn't having the greatest game either, so we'll get Gonçalo Ramos in his position. Our defence is performing incredibly well, going by the average ratings in this second half. I'm happy, actually. If this just runs out of time, a 0-0 away from home against Man City will be absolutely huge. With 3 minutes to go, there is a highlight, and Gabriel Jesus has the ball, finds Leon Bailey. Oh, thank God for that, it's went wide. I did have visions. Of course you've got visions there. But 20 seconds remain. This will be the final highlight of the game, as long as nothing crazy happens, which is 10. It could happen here. But it doesn't, and there we are. Man City 0, Brighton 0. A very positive result for us. I think during the second half, they had the only highlight going, so maybe we should be very grateful for the 0-0. But I did think the couple of opportunities we had in the first half could have maybe changed the game, but it might have changed the game for the worse. Man City might have completely came at us, but a 0-0 against them is not too bad. I will see you at the Chelsea game. Right, we've played through and we're back for today's game against Chelsea. The lineup is exactly the same as it was against Manchester City, with the change of Rodrigo Marquez coming in for Darius Courtney, who was dropped out of the squad for today's game. Between Courtney and Mesquita, it is a bit of a toss-up. Mesquita is probably the better player with the more potential, but obviously Courtney's English. So it's going to be a bit of a rotation option as we go through the rest of this season. Now, Chelsea lineup: Pavlenka in goal, Kieran Tierney at left back, John Souttar, of course, our old boy, at centre back with Christensen and Azpilicueta, N'Golo Kante and Nicolo Barella in at defensive midfield, Lo Celso, Sancho, Solomon, and Alvaro Morata. A pretty familiar lineup, as most people would know. Solomon, I think, is he Ukrainian? He's Israeli, but he's come from Ukraine. He plays for Shakhtar Donetsk, signed for them this season. Lo Celso, of course, PSG, then Real Madrid, of course, on this game. Real Betis in between. So they've got a really decent side. We are away from home again, so we've got to be at our very best. I really fancy us against Chelsea, actually. They've been playing incredibly poorly this season, sitting in 6th position. I think they're about 8 points behind us with one less game that we've played. So I think we should beat them, but away from home, you never know what happens. An early highlight though, 5 minutes in, and it's Morata who makes the turn on the edge, takes a strike. Butland didn't even dive. I wasn't even worried. So, yeah. Another highlight now, this time 7 minutes in, and it's Chelsea once again who are currently in possession. N'Golo Kante drives forward, tries to find Solomon, but Tavares manages to cut it out and sets away Doku on this left-hand side. He finds the ball in. Rodrigo Marquez is there for his 15th goal of the season. An absolutely fantastic assist by Jeremy Doku. Tavares doing absolutely incredibly with this pass here to find Doku in acres of space, as Azpilicueta had bombed up the pitch, Chelsea's right back. It was a deflected cross, it does look like, but Marquez makes no mistake. An absolutely perfect first-time finish. Another highlight now, Sebastian Jaros with a free kick. It goes back post. Aquino hits the woodwork, and unfortunately, Chelsea get away with that one. And that's going to be the end of the first half. A pretty quiet one, obviously, but I'm very happy to be going in 1-0. Rodrigo Marquez making his mark felt straight away upon his return from injury. We kick off the second half. Let's see if we can hold on to this. Oh my God, this will be an awful goal. John Souttar with a big kick up. Alvaro Morata was somehow onside. None of our defenders were anywhere close, but thankfully Jack Butland is equal to the task. The corner comes in. We managed to eventually get rid. I thought that was going to be a free kick for Chelsea, but the highlight continues with the Aquino. I thought it would have ended by now if it was over. Jaros gets the ball in, Christensen clears, and surely that's the end, is it? Yes. Chelsea are coming into this a little bit more. We are going to return to a balanced team mentality, go off that positive one, and just hope that our boys steer back a little bit more. Another highlight now, Azpilicueta plays the ball down the right hand side. Morata's there. Nathan Wood does absolutely excellently to dispossess him, but Chelsea come at us again, this time with Tierney to Barella to Lo Celso. Azpilicueta's bomb forward again. What a challenge that is, Carlos Julio. Please, can we potentially break from this? No, we're not, because they've slowed the game right down, but we do remain in possession. Sebastian Jaros is set free by Benty. He cuts in. He manages to find Marquez in the box, and Rodrigo Marquez, 2 chances, 2 goals, both absolutely clinical finishes. A lovely through ball by Sebastian Jaros here. As you can see, Benty does find Jaros. He drives all the way to about 25 yards out, and then Jaros, what a great pass that is. Azpilicueta could probably cut that out. It was a little bit of a scuffed finish, I think you would say, but it ends up on the back of the net anyway, so we don't care. And we go 2-0 up. But there is a corner straight away for Chelsea that Butland claims. We'll see where this highlight goes. It doesn't go anywhere well, as Wilson's now in behind. Oh my God, this was just awful. Completely awful defending from us. Jack Butland was playing the ball short. We were trying to retain possession. He eventually just boots it out. And then Azpilicueta nips in over Doku. That's just like the craziest pass you'll ever see. And then Callum Wilson slots it in. Somehow onside as well. And we'll just skip the rest of that replay. We're back to a 1-goal advantage. With 15 minutes to go, we're going to make some changes. We'll see who's struggling the most. Gravenberch can come off for Gonzalo Ramos. Carlos Julio can come off for Abilio Neves. Not Benoit Badiashile. What are you doing, my son? Get off the pitch. Benty Ebb. We could take him off of Marco Burlap, but I don't really like that change all that much. We'll save our final sub for the final 5 minutes or so. Just in case anybody else maybe picks up an injury or their conditioning gets even lower. So with 5 minutes to go, we'll make our final change. We will get Benty off, and we will get Marco Bulat in that defensive midfield role to hopefully see out the rest of this game with 1 minute remaining. That looks like it's going to be it, unless Chelsea can do something here. Give the ball away from a throw-in, of course they do. And there we are. Brighton 2, Chelsea 1. 4 points from 2 games, 2 very, very difficult away games. I am absolutely delighted with that. I was hoping for 4 points secretly. I was hoping for a draw against Man City and the win against Chelsea. But 3 points I think would have been satisfactory. 2 points would have been a bit disappointing, but would have been okay. But to avoid defeat is very, very good. So now we currently sit 1 point behind Liverpool, who sit top of the table. We've both played the same number of games. We are level on points with third place Manchester United, 3 points ahead of Manchester City, who have a game in hand. So the top 4 is incredibly, incredibly congested. Then you've got Arsenal in 5th position, only 1 point behind Man City, but they have played 1 game more than ourselves and Liverpool, and 2 games more than Man City. So very, very tight Premier League. But that's not our focus for the next episode. The next episode will be both ties against Olympic Lyon in the Champions League first knockout round. So if you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, and if you are enjoying my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.